And we'll be right back here on Rock 104. Oh, hey, how are you doing? It's Wednesday once again, and that means it's time for Weird Wednesday here on rock104.ca, as it is every Wednesday here on rock104.ca. Hope you've been having a good week. I know there's a few people that haven't been having a great week this week. It was on April 29th of this year, yes, just a few days ago, that the Chinese government's space program launched a Long March 5B rocket into orbit, which carried a piece of the new space station they were building into space, and actually still are building into space. As you're probably aware, when rockets launch into space, they have different stages. Each stage houses fuel and engines that break the grip of the Earth's gravity and shove the cargo through the atmosphere and up into space. Each stage depletes its fuel, it falls away, allowing the next stage to do its work. It's how it's been working for, well, several decades already. And it's worked pretty well so far. But it was the Chinese launch on April 29th. It was going all according to plan until they realized that the last thrust stage of the rocket was going just a little bit too fast. It separated from the payload stage all right, but its speed kept it going up instead of hitting the apex of its arc under the influence of the Earth's gravity, allowing the spent stage to fall back to Earth in a controlled, calculated re-entry, as per usual. It had enough speed to make it into a suborbital trajectory, which pulled it into an unstable orbit. The orbit is currently decaying fairly rapidly. Unfortunately, that also means that they are not entirely sure of when or where the 30-meter long piece of rocket core called the CZ-5B is going to come down. They have given a rough estimate of where it might come down. Unfortunately, that estimate is somewhere between the 42nd parallel and the 42nd north parallel, and the south 37th parallel. And that's roughly accounts for 2/3 of the Earth's surface. It's basically anywhere on the circumference of the globe between New York and Auckland, New Zealand. So there's that. The good news is, though, that astrophysicist Jonathan McDowell from the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics has been tracking it, and he said it will come down sometime on Monday, this Monday, March the 10th. So I guess there's that, right? Well, although he and several other prominent physicists, astrophysicists, and other assorted smart people are tracking the situation and should be able to calculate the approximate area where the rocket will eventually hit. When it does finally return to Earth. Of course, the probability of it coming down in a populated area is, well, let's just say it's not impossible that it could cause some serious damage and injury, if not death. So, keep your eyes on the skies, kids. Maybe start practicing the old duck and cover drills. Not that that's going to help, but if it was good enough for Grandma and Grandpa during the Cold War, it's good enough for you. Because really, there isn't much else you can do. So, keep your eyes on the skies this coming Monday. That's been a look at Weird Wednesday for another Wednesday here on rock104.ca. Join us next week for another edition of Weird Wednesday. Until then, have a great week.